Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I am so pleased to welcome all of you students from Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Now, if you're building a career in hospitality, you already know that service is everything. But what is it that truly separates a good experience from an unforgettable one? Well, in this explainer, we're going to explore the single most important skill that creates that difference.
So let's just dive right in. In the world of luxury hospitality, flawless execution, that's just the baseline. It's expected. Real success, though, is built on something much deeper. As this quote says, every single interaction is charged with emotion. Your ability to navigate these emotional elements, well, that's what separates a good professional from a truly great one. So here's our roadmap for this session. We're going to start by defining what's really at the heart of hospitality, and then we'll build a foundation, which is self-awareness. From there, we'll get into how to connect with your guests, how to master those really challenging moments, and finally, we'll see how it all goes way beyond a simple transaction to build lasting loyalty. All right, Section 1, the heart of hospitality. Before we can master any skill, we have to be really clear on what it is. So, what are we actually talking about here? We're talking about emotional intelligence, or EI for short. It's the ability to perceive and influence emotions, both your own and, of course, those of your guests. Now, while your technical skills will help you do your job efficiently, it's your EI that lets you build trust, communicate effectively, and forge those meaningful relationships that truly define what hospitality is all about. On to Section 2, self-awareness. You see, to understand the emotions of other people, you first have to understand your own. This is the absolute foundation of emotional intelligence, starting by exploring your own emotional landscape. Now, what's really interesting here is this idea of emotional triggers. Being self-aware means you can actually identify what causes you to feel pressure or stress. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, not at all. It's about understanding them so you can manage your response thoughtfully, especially when things get tough. So, the crucial part is how you put this into practice. Think about a moment of pressure, maybe a sudden guest complaint or a really tight deadline. The self-aware professional identifies that trigger. Then, and this is key, they take a crucial pause to reflect instead of just reacting. And then, they consciously choose a calm, professional response. This projects confidence and keeps you in control. Okay, Section 3, connecting with your guests. Once you have a handle on your own emotions, the focus naturally shifts outward. Now we'll explore the critical skills for understanding your guests: empathy and social awareness. Empathy is such a critical tool. Notice the definition here says understand and acknowledge. It doesn't say agree. You don't have to agree with a guest's complaint to show them that you understand their frustration. It's really all about making them feel heard and respected, which honestly is often what they want the most. And this just perfectly illustrates the power of a simple phrase. Using a statement like, "I understand why this is frustrating," validates the guest's emotion. It immediately lowers their defenses, it de-escalates tension, and it opens the door for a much more constructive, solution-focused conversation. It really shifts the whole dynamic from conflict to collaboration. But empathy is only half the story. The most skilled professionals listen not just with their ears, but with their eyes. And this brings us to social awareness, and the really critical question on this slide. What is your guest not saying? Social awareness is kind of like being a detective of human emotion. You're looking for the clues. Is their tone of voice a little tight? Are they avoiding eye contact? Do you notice a slight hesitation before they answer a question? These signals can tell you that a guest is feeling uncertain or uncomfortable or dissatisfied, even if the words they're using are perfectly polite. Section 4, mastering those tough moments. So, you've recognized the guest is upset. Now what? This is where everything we've talked about comes together, especially when you're under pressure. It's time to talk about emotional control. So the crucial point here is the shift from reacting to responding. An impulsive reaction is driven by your immediate emotion, but a controlled response, that's driven by a clear, solution-focused mindset. This ability to regulate your own reaction is what prevents a small problem from escalating into a major incident. This slide contrasts the two approaches perfectly. A standard reaction might be to get defensive, focusing only on the logistical problem, which can make a guest feel dismissed and just escalate the whole conflict. The emotionally intelligent reaction, on the other hand, is calm. It focuses first on the guest's feeling and only then on the problem. This de-escalates the situation and starts to rebuild their confidence in you and the hotel. And on to our final section, beyond the transaction. So why does all of this matter so much? Because when you master these skills, you're doing more than just handling a single interaction. You're building something much, much more valuable: long-term loyalty. Mastering emotional intelligence isn't just about good service, it's a powerful business strategy. When guests feel understood and respected, they develop stronger trust and a much deeper connection to your brand. This creates what we call emotional loyalty, which is way more powerful and lasting than any loyalty that's just based on points or perks. And this chart illustrates the impact perfectly. Just look at the difference. Standard, technically proficient service might get you a decent level of satisfaction. But service delivered with high emotional intelligence, it creates super fans. It transforms a guest's experience from just satisfactory to truly memorable, and that drives loyalty right through the roof. But please remember, emotional intelligence isn't some fixed trait. It is a skill that you can build. As you can see, it's a cycle. It grows through self-reflection after an interaction, through really practicing active listening, and by being open to seeking feedback from your colleagues and your mentors. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Don't let this just be theory. Make it practical. Think about your very next shift, your next interaction with a guest. What is the one thing from this explainer that you will consciously practice? Because that, right there, that is where mastery begins.